Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive.
Great to be here.
Today we're tackling something really transformative, the future of global mobility technology.
Yeah, it's a big one.
We've been digging into some extensive research from Cognitive Market Research, and our mission, well, it's to unpack what this rapidly evolving market really means for how we all move, connect, and, live our lives.
Absolutely. And I think it's important to stress this isn't just a market update. We're not just talking minor tweaks to cars or trains here.
No.
This research points towards a fundamental reshaping of how we interact with the world. Think personal travel, logistics, even how our smart cities are designed and function. It's kind of a blueprint for a more connected future.
And rapidly evolving feels like an understatement sometimes. The projections for market growth are, well, they're pretty staggering.
They really are.
Globally, the market was, just over $3.3 billion, $390.99 million to be precise, in 2021.
Okay.
But get this, it's projected to more than double to nearly $8 billion, $752.3 million by 2025.
Wow, in just 4 years.
Exactly. And then it surges to an incredible 43,734.7 million by 2033.
That's huge.
Huge. And the compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, averages out to nearly 24%. 23.749%, actually, for over a decade.
Okay, yeah, that kind of CAGR, nearly 24%, that tells a story.
Right.
It's not just steady growth, that's exponential expansion. It really points towards, widespread adoption, relentless innovation. And for you listening, just think about what that level of sustained growth means. We're talking about a world where new ways of getting around, accessing services, interacting with cities, it could all become the norm much faster than maybe we expect.
It really suggests these technologies are about to become everywhere.
Pretty much ubiquitous, yeah.
So, okay, with that kind of global momentum, the obvious question is, who's driving this?
Yeah.
Let's zoom in on the regions, the powerhouses, and maybe some surprises.
Yeah, let's do that. Looking at the regional breakdown, North America is clearly out front. The region started at about $1.28 billion, $175.01 million in 2021. It's set to jump to nearly $3 billion by 2025. To $938.38 million, and potentially hitting over $15.6 billion plus $15,613.3 million by 2033.
$15.6 billion, just in North America.
Just North America.
Yeah.
And it's sustained by a strong CGR, just over 23%, 23.218%.
And within that?
Well, the U.S. is the giant, obviously. It was over $1 billion, $10,013.63 million itself in 2021, projected to reach $12.2 billion by 2033.
$12 billion, okay.
But Canada and Mexico are showing really strong growth, too. Canada, for instance, goes from about $159 million to over $2 billion by 2033, and its CGR is actually slightly higher at 23.9%.
Interesting.
Mexico, similarly, grows from $102 million to nearly $1.3 billion, also with a KGR over 23%.
So North America is definitely setting the pace. But, what do you think really defines that leadership? Is it just the tech innovation, or is it investment, or?
I think it's a mix, really. You've got a strong base of tech innovation, particularly autonomous vehicles, advanced telematics.
Right.
But also, yeah, a robust investment climate, and importantly, a consumer base that's often quite open to trying new tech early on.
Makes sense.
But as you hinted, Europe isn't exactly sitting still. It's showing its own significant expansion.
Exactly. Here's where it gets really interesting, too, because while North America leads in sheer size, Europe has some fascinating dynamics.
That's right. Europe's overall market, it's projected to grow from around $858 million in 2021 to over $10.5 billion by 2033. The CAGR is pretty similar, actually, just over 23%, 23.307%.
Okay, so neck and neck in terms of growth rate.
Pretty much. And Germany stands out within Europe.
How so?
It's projected to have the highest growth rate there. It jumps from about $164 million in 21 to over $2.1 billion, $271.25 million by 2033. That's a CAGR over 24%.
Wow, Germany leading the European charge then.
Seems like it. But the UK and France are also showing, really impressive expansion. The UK goes from $125 million to almost $1.6 billion. France from $124 million to over $1.4 billion.
Still very strong numbers.
Definitely. And Italy and Spain are contributing substantially, too. Italy projected over $1.1 billion, Spain over $860 million by 2033. Even the smaller European markets, Sweden, Denmark, Switzerland, places like that, they're all showing consistently strong double-digit growth around that 23% mark.
It paints a picture of really broad region-wide commitment in Europe.
Exactly. It's not just one or two countries.
Okay, so North America leading in scale, Europe showing consistent broad growth. What about Asia Pacific? You mentioned surprises earlier. Prepare for some seriously rapid growth here because these numbers are quite something.
Yeah, Asia Pacific is projected to be one of the absolute fastest growing regions globally.
Right.
It's forecast to skyrocket from around $729 million in 2021
Okay.
to well over $10.5 billion, $10,583.8 million by 2033.
10.5 billion. So similar total size to Europe by 2033, but starting from a slightly lower base.
Exactly, which means its CAGR is higher nearly 25%.
Remarkable. 25% annual growth.
For over a decade. Now, China, as you'd expect, is a dominant player, expanding from $220 million to over $3.2 billion.
Sure.
But here's the real surprise, I think. India.
Oh, yeah.
India started at around $102.8 million in 2021. It's projected to reach over $1.6 billion and $1,640.49 million by 2033.
Still significant growth, but
Look at the CAGR. It's the highest in the region, nearly 26%, 25.977%.
wow. India at nearly 26% CAGR. That is surprising. What do you think is driving that kind of acceleration there compared to, say, Japan or South Korea?
That's a really good question, and I think it points to this leapfrogging effect we sometimes see.
Leapfrogging.
Yeah, bypassing older stages of development, we're likely seeing massive adoption of things like mobile-first ride-sharing, electric two-wheelers are huge there, last-mile delivery
But
solutions.
things that don't necessarily need the same traditional infrastructure first.
Exactly. New tech solving existing transport and logistics problems very efficiently. That can create explosive growth, especially in emerging economies.
That makes a lot of sense.
And of course, other countries like Japan, South Korea, Australia, Singapore, Taiwan, they're all contributing significantly as well. It reinforces the region's really dynamic role.
Okay, so it's clear North America and Asia Pacific are leading the charge in different ways. Europe's incredibly strong too. But this isn't just a story about those three, right? It feels truly global.
Absolutely. It's not confined. Look at South America. Their market's projected to expand significantly too, from about $217 million in 2021 to nearly $2.9 billion by 2033.
Almost 3 billion.
Yeah, led by Brazil and Argentina, both showing CAGRs above that 23% mark. Colombia, Peru, Chile, others are following suit,
And the Middle East.
also contributing substantially, growing from roughly $163 million to over $2.1 billion by 2033.
Okay.
And the UAE is particularly notable there. Its CAGR is approaching 25%, which points to some serious investment in smart city tech and infrastructure. Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Egypt, Qatar also showing strong growth.
And Africa.
Africa's market is set to rise from about $149 million to over $1.9 billion by 2033.
Nearly 2 billion.
Yeah, bolstered by countries like South Africa and Nigeria, it reflects growing demand and increasing focus across the continent on, modernizing transportation.
So when we connect all these dots, all these regional stories, this overwhelming positive outlook, what does it really signify? What's the big picture here?
I think connecting it all just underscores that we are genuinely in the midst of a technological revolution in how we move.
Right.
This isn't just about slightly better cars or trains. It's fundamentally reshaping our cities, our urban landscapes. It's enhancing accessibility for all sorts of different populations. And it's laying the groundwork for how smart city infrastructure is going to evolve everywhere across the globe.
It feels like a profound shift.
It really is a profound shift in how society functions, driven by this pervasive innovation and, frankly, massive investment.
What an incredible deep dive into these numbers. The core takeaway seems crystal clear. The global mobility technologies market is just experiencing explosive growth everywhere.
Yeah.
Across every continent, driven by these remarkable CAGRs in key regions and countries.
Absolutely.
And like you said, these aren't just figures on a page. They reflect a tangible, real-world transformation in how we interact with our environment, with each other.
Exactly. And maybe that leads to a final thought for you, the listener. Consider this. As this seamless connected transportation becomes more pervasive, this immense investment and growth, how might it fundamentally alter things like personal vehicle ownership?
A big question.
Or your access to public spaces, even the very design of the cities you live in or visit? What are the implications of this huge shift for, say, individual freedom, connection, in a world where movement itself is becoming increasingly integrated and, well, fluid?
Something definitely worth thinking about.